It's Wednesday, August 27th. In the headlines, People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party clash over income tax proposals at election debates 2025. Regionally, United States deploys 2 more warships to Venezuelan waters. And in sports, Kerry McLeod leads Jamaica's Diamond League title hunt in Switzerland. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Competing personal income tax proposals from the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party ignited heated exchanges during the second political debate on Tuesday night, which focused on the economy. The JLP, seeking re-election on September 3, pledged to gradually reduce the personal income tax rate from 25% to 15%. Meanwhile, the PNP proposed raising the income tax threshold to $3.5 million annually, starting April 1, 2026. The People's National Party's Julian Robinson sought to explain how his party would fund the proposal if elected.
This will be funded from revenue growth, which currently, based on the 1% growth, is projected to generate an additional revenue of $140 billion over a 3-year period. Additionally, we expect within the envelope that exists in the budget has 4 main components. You have debt servicing, you have salaries and wages, you have the capital budget, and then you have the programmatic budget. As a political party, we would have our own priorities, and we will look at the programmatic budget and make adjustments there.
Minister of Finance and Public Service Favour Williams, a member of the JLP's 3-member debates team, fiercely criticized the PNP's plan.
Lies, lies, lies. It cannot be done without imposing new taxes on the backs of Jamaicans. Your 3.5 is the biggest political scam since the history of Jamaica. It cannot be done. You were the people who said when we introduced the 1.5 that it couldn't be done. It would wreck the budget. How do you get from 1.5 to 3.5? It's 3.5 now, right? It used to be 2.3, 3.2, all over the place. Can't be done.
The debate highlighted stark differences in the party's fiscal strategies, with both sides presenting their tax relief proposals as measures to ease the burden on Jamaican workers and stimulate economic growth. The public now awaits further clarification on how either plan would be financed, and if implemented, if their respective parties would win the upcoming election. The Electoral Office of Jamaica has referred a contentious dispute over the relocation of 7 polling divisions in St. Catherine South Central to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica for a final ruling. The issue has sparked unease among residents of the constituency, many of whom fear the move could lead to voter suppression and potentially reignite tensions tied to past episodes of political violence. Director of Elections, Glaspel Brown, convened a meeting on Tuesday in an effort to resolve the matter, but reported that no consensus was reached. The ECJ is expected to issue a decision as early as today. At the heart of the controversy is the proposed relocation of polling stations serving sections of St. John's Road and the Willowdean community, where voters have cast ballots since the 2011 general election. Residents have voiced strong objections, citing safety concerns and past conflicts. Tax Administration Jamaica says its transition to electronic motor vehicle registration is off to a strong start. More than 65,000 certificates have been issued since the new system went live just over a month ago. The electronic motor vehicle registration certificate officially replaced the paper format and decal on July 21. Since then, TAJ reports steady uptake of the new system, with more than 10% of transactions completed online. Private motorists can renew their registration online in as little as 5 minutes using a credit card, after which the new certificate is generated through the online hub on the TAJ website. Owners of other categories of vehicles, including public passenger, commercial, and diplomatic, must still register in person at a tax office. However, those motorists also now receive the certificate electronically. TAJ says more than 3,200 motorists have already taken advantage of the new 2-year validity period for registration. The authority also points to a recent survey showing that nearly 3/4 of users had a smooth experience. TAJ is encouraging all private motorists to take advantage of the online option for faster, easier renewals. For more details, taxpayers can call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357. Or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm. Culture Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange has received the Certificate of Inscription, classifying Port Royal as a World Heritage Site. The Certificate of Inscription was presented to Minister Grange on Tuesday by the Regional Director and representative of the UNESCO Cluster of Office of the Caribbean, Eric Fault. Port Royal was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List on July 12, 2025. This inscription to the World Heritage List confirms Port Royal's outstanding universal value, which requires protection for the benefit of all humanity. Once dubbed the wickedest city in the world, Port Royal was a thriving 17th century Jamaican port, infamous for its links to pirates and buccaneers during the Caribbean's golden age of piracy. That chapter of its history came to a sudden end when a powerful earthquake and tsunami devastated the city, submerging much of it beneath the sea. Today, Port Royal stands as a quiet fishing village, but its sunken ruins have earned it global recognition as the most significant underwater archaeological site in the Western Hemisphere. Visitors can explore remnants of its colonial past, including Fort Charles, the tilted Giddy House, and historic naval buildings, all offering a rare window into Jamaica's maritime heritage. Once banned or considered a luxury, technology has now become central to the classroom, from tablets and smartboards to apps that bring lessons to life. The Ministry of Education is reshaping how students learn and teachers teach. In this feature, we explore how technology is empowering schools, supporting teachers, and transforming education across Jamaica.
Our journey begins at the Ministry's Media Services Unit, a digital production hub where everything from textbooks to teacher guides and interactive video content are created to support the nation's evolving learning needs.
The Ministry has several strategies for integrating technology across the system. First, the Ministry developed a national ICT in education policy that provides a framework for the provision, use, and management of technology within the education system. As it relates to the national standards curriculum, we have ICT attainment targets and suggested tools for teaching and learning. As it relates to administration, there is the Education Management Information System, known as the EMIS, and that is used to support our school leaders to make data-driven decisions. As well as we provide equipment in terms of devices, internet access, and digital learning platforms to enhance the teaching and learning experience.
In addition to that, over 400,000 Google Workspace accounts have been issued by the ministry, giving students and teachers access to Google Classrooms.
We have also have a broadband initiative, two initiatives actually, broadband and Wi-Fi. With broadband, we are providing improved internet access across the system. So approximately 723 schools have benefited from broadband. There's also Wi-Fi. We have over 323 schools that have benefited from Wi-Fi. That's in the first phase. And in the second phase, we have earmarked over 696 locations that will be receiving Wi-Fi.
But digital learning isn't one size fits all.
So there are several strategies to support our students with disabilities. There is the accessible digital textbooks. We have speech-to-text and text-to-speech software. These are digital books that are presented in alternative formats. As it relates to school-level support, for example, at the Salvation Army for the Blind, there is software to support our students. Schools for the Deaf, through partnership with the National Education Trust and e-learning, they have also provided assistive technologies to cater to our students' needs.
Behind every empowered student is a well-equipped teacher.
Our teachers at the pre-service level, they have access to webinars and workshops, online courses, and we have collaborations with both local and international partners. For example, we have over 780 hours of training for our teachers, both pre-service and in service. The pre-service teachers, they benefit from online courses. We also support our teachers through mentoring, where we pair beginning teachers with more experienced teachers to help them to make that transition. We have also ensured that our teachers who are in practice or in-service teachers, they have access to a suite of professional development courses to strengthen their ICT skills, because we are about building a digital competent teachers throughout the system.
As technology becomes part of daily life, the Ministry of Education is using it as a tool to drive growth and success for students.
Tech-based education is here to stay, and so there is funding arrangements to support technology use in school.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Mayberry Jamaican Equities Limited has launched its MGE secured bond, a fixed-rate secured corporate bond which opens on August 21 and closes on September 12. The interest rate offered is 8.75% per annum to 9.25% per annum, and the tenure is between 13 months to 23 months. The collateral for the bond is the Mayberry Equities portfolio. Venice Wallace, founder of Eliza Care Home Health Services, shares her thoughts on how to maximize a return on investment in caring for your loved one, whether they be bedridden, home from the hospital, or maybe living with a disability.
For home health care training, It is very important that we, our family members, ensure that we invest in caring for our loved ones. At Eliza Care, we're doing our training, and what we do is allow you to understand the emergency purposes in caring for your loved ones, in making sure that you understand vital signs, medication, making sure that you allow yourself to feel free in caring for your loved one, understanding medical purposes, in making sure that you're doing it correctly, serving your medication correctly, making sure that you meal prep prior to caring for your loved ones, and making sure that you do the best from a home environment in caring for your loved ones. Our training is on September 27th, and you can reach us at 866-0734 if you are ready to learn more in caring for your loved ones, in making sure that you do your best in caring for the persons that are close and dear to your heart, which is your loved one. Call us today and training that it will make sure that you care for your loved ones from your heart. Call us.
For the trading period ending August 26, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 8,731,927 units traded, representing 36.30% of market sales volume. International hardware distributor Fosrich Company Limited shares with 2,209,146 units traded, representing 9.18% of market sales volume. Investment house Sagicor Select Funds Limited, manufacturing and distribution with 1,556,059 units traded, representing 6.47% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On August 26, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $42.31 million purchased and US $47.57 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $2.37 per dollar, selling the US at $160.99 and buying the US at $158.62. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $2.04 per transaction, selling at $117.01 and buying at $114.97. The British pound yielded Forex traders $1.82 in profit, with selling at $217.10 and buying at $215.28. For our credit report tip of the day, your credit score is silently running your financial life. Ignore it and it will cost you in loans, insurance, rentals, and even job opportunities. Don't let hidden numbers hold you back. Here are a few ways ignoring your credit score can hurt you. It's limited options for refinancing, trouble getting approved for business credit, lower negotiating power with lenders, and reduced ability to build wealth with leverage. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, the United States is stepping up its military presence in the southern Caribbean, deploying a guided missile cruiser and a nuclear-powered submarine to join forces already off Venezuela's coast. While Venezuela has condemned the move, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says the additional naval assets will strengthen drug interdiction efforts and pose no threat to the region. More details in this CNC3 news report.
The United States is ramping up its military presence in the Southern Caribbean with the USS Lake Erie, a guided missile cruiser, and the USS Newport News, a nuclear-powered submarine set to join an amphibious squadron already deployed off Venezuela's coast. It's welcome news to Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, who told CNC3 News, because the maritime zone is so vast, the addition of more U.S. naval assets would significantly enhance the effectiveness of the drug interdiction mission. According to the Trump administration, this military presence is part of a broader strategy to use U.S. military force against what it has designated as narco-terrorist organizations in the region, including certain Mexican and Venezuelan cartels. But Venezuela's government has denounced the U.S. deployment as immoral, criminal, and illegal, calling it an attempt at regime change. Now, this country's prime minister has taken America's side in this affair, and with respect to the additional naval assets, she told CNC3 News that the only people who should be worried right now are those involved in illegal activity. Basad Bissessa told CNC3 News that the U.S. ships will be operating in international waters and not interfering in the sovereignty of any nation. She also called on citizens to take a close look at the people complaining about the action being taken by the U.S. She said the cartels have infiltrated the upper echelons of Caribbean society, and they have their minions in Trinidad and Tobago agitating against the U.S. presence. Asked if she believes aggression between the U.S. and Venezuela can put Trinidad and Tobago in the crosshairs and therefore endanger its people, Kamala Basad Bissessa said that is engaging in hyperbole and hysteria. Meanwhile, international relations expert at UWI St. Augustine, Dr. Michael Favinsky, tells CNC3 News he does not believe that the additional vessels mean that war is on the horizon. He said this is merely the U.S. flexing its muscles.
So it might be a form not necessarily of focusing purely on narco trafficking or counter narcotic trafficking, but also a show of power by United States that they are present in the region, actively present, through the deployment of those Navy ships.
Dr. Fabinsky said there is the potential for skirmishes between the U.S. and Venezuela, but he does not believe this country is in any immediate danger. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
Barbadian Prime Minister Mia Mottley announced a new agreement to acquire a 40-year-old digital historical archive, which she intends to share with the region. She made the announcement during her address at the 2025 Carifesta opening ceremony. HTS News Force has that story.
The opening ceremony of the Regional Festival of Arts and Culture, Carifesta, focused on preserving heritage, history, culture, and patrimony. The Barbadian government has secured a trove of information about the region. During a welcome address, Prime Minister Mia Mottley announced that the government had signed an accord to purchase the historical records of Banyan Productions, a media company from Trinidad and Tobago.
That one of the things that pleases my government as well is that only today we signed an agreement to purchase the historical records of Banyan Productions out of Trinidad and Tobago, which captures the digital archives of the last 40 years of the Caribbean. And we in Barbados are committed to making those archives available to all Caribbean people, because at the end of the day, whether it is going to watch George Lamming give the eulogy of Maurice Bishop, or whether it is the 40 tapes that we have of Carifesta 1981, or whether it is elements of masquerade across the region, or interviews from the northern into the southern Caribbean, those archives will give the opportunities to our young people to build upon this and to create even more for us as a people.
The colorful opening ceremony brought together hundreds of delegates from more than 25 countries. St. Lucia's delegation plans to display a diverse lineup of talent, including music, dance, theater, masquerade, literary and visual arts, culinary arts, and film. Prime Minister Mottley specifically urged the youth to share Caribbean stories with the rest of the world.
Because 50 and 60 and 70 years from now, you must tell the story of today to your children and grandchildren. And that is why we have made a special place for you to come. And I want to thank Reverend Dr. Nigel Taylor for leading the effort of coordinating with our volunteers for you here. God bless you, and may you appreciate the genius of Caribbean culture and understand that it is your responsibility to carry this culture and to tell our stories to the rest of the world.
The Barbadian head of government also encouraged participants to create a legacy for the younger generation from the event.
It is not only enough for your stories to go to the rest of the region through broadcasts and social media today, but we want it to last so that the world understands that our contribution to humanizing the world, to seeing people, to hearing people, to feeling people, to recognizing that fairness and social justice must find itself at the core of our world today. The Caribbean represents the best example of it and will continue to be able to promulgate that to the rest of the world at this very difficult time, whether it is as a result of wars and conflict, geopolitical difficulties, or regrettably, that thing that caused Bermuda almost not to be here, the climate crisis and the hurricanes and the floods of the region.
In sports, we're out the blocks with athletics. National men's long jump champion Kerry McDonald will kick off Jamaica's campaign at the Wanda Diamond League final on Wednesday as the prestigious two-day event begins in Switzerland. A total of 37 Diamond League titles are up for grabs, along with prize money ranging from $30,000 to $50,000 and coveted wild card entries to next month's World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. 10 Jamaican athletes are scheduled to compete, with the spotlight expected to intensify on Thursday's second day of competition, where 2 potential wild card spots could be in line for the Team Jamaica. Jamaica stands to gain as many as 3 additional entries to the World Championships if Olympic 100 meters finalist Tia Clayton and reigning Diamond League men's 100 meters champion Akeem Blake secure titles in their respective events. Due to World Athletics rules allowing only 1 wild card per country per event, Jamaica could benefit if Clayton wins or finishes second to an American athlete in the 100 meters, as U.S. sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson already holds the wild card for that event. The Jamaican contingent is aiming to build momentum heading into Tokyo with strong performances this week, potentially reshaping the nation's medal prospects in the global stage. Trinidad and Tobago Premier League runners-up Central FC are currently doing battle in Suriname against SV Robin Hood as the Couva Sharks look for their first points in the 2025 Concacaf Caribbean Cup.
According to Concacaf Media, the Robin Hood Central clash is the first ever encounter between Suriname's and Trinbago clubs in the Concacaf Caribbean Cup history. Both sides will be seeking their first goal and win in this year's tournament after losing their opening matches. Robin Hood fell 1-0 to Mount Pleasant FA of Jamaica, while Central FC lost 2-0 to Universidad O&M FC of the Dominican Republic. For SV Robin Hood, this will only be their second match against a club from Trinidad and Tobago in international play. The lone previous meeting dates back nearly 25 years on November 3, 2000, when Robin Hood suffered a 5-0 defeat to Joe Public FC in the CFU Club Championship. That match was played at the Centre of Excellence, with goals scored by Angus Eve, a double, Cohen Hardis Jamot, Winston Feller, and Ansel Alcock. Central FC will also face a Suriname's club for just the second time. Their first meeting came in 2015 when they defeated Inter-Moingo Tapo 2-0 at the Providence Stadium in Guyana. Willis Plaza was the hero with a brace. This matchup marks the first ever meeting between Suriname's and Trinbago clubs in the history of the Concacaf Caribbean Cup since its inception in 2023. In total, it will be the 15th international contest between clubs from these nations, with a strong advantage for TNT sides, 11 wins, 2 draws, and just 1 victory for the Suriname's clubs.
And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.